It's time to give the Z3 a quick once over to make sure that it's ready for the track. No, the rotary isn't in here just yet. We're hoping to have that done pretty soon. It's over there somewhere. But we're working on that in the background because I just really want to get the most out of this car over the next little while. And I'm working with a partner on this one, Track Obsession. They've invited me out to Anglesey. I'm really excited. I've never driven that track before, so that should be pretty fun. But yeah, we need to give this a once over, check things like oil, coolant, things like that, make sure everything is nice and tight and tucked up. But I'm going to take this opportunity to show you some of the mods that are definitely going to help out on track. So if you've got a Z3, a BMW, or any car for that mind, let me show you what you might want to consider doing. All right, well, the car didn't miss a beat when it was last out at Alton Park. It is really important. I've got to check the oil level and check this coolant reservoir right here. Good news is, things look pretty good. Let's get it off. It's actually really hard to tell the level on these engines, but I can see just about in there, a little bit of liquid moving around. Happy with that. Right, next, dipstick. Let's check the oil level. Let's see how we're looking. Ooh, pretty good. And actually, I don't know if you can see that, relatively clean. It's not done many miles since it's been serviced. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was a couple of years ago now, but the car's probably done 400, 500, 600 miles maximum between those times. So it lives in the garage most of the time. I do need to drive it more. But of course, the engine's getting changed, so I'm not madly worried. As long as it gets me there and back, we're happy. One of the big upgrades I made to this car was in the stopping power. Let's take a look at those brakes. Better just acknowledge the dirt on my face as always. Right, let me show you these brakes, come on. Right, the first thing is the upgraded caliper right here. Now this is from an E46 330i and it's much, much bigger, and that's going to give us a much bigger disc as well. So these EBC, I believe they were the BSD discs, I want to say. It's quite a clever design with these slots. Now what it means, unlike a normal drilled and grooved rotor, is that it's not noisy. And then we've got the blue stuff pads holding up pretty well there, to be honest. I'm happy with that. A little bit rust, because like I said, this is just sat in here for a while. Disc is looking good. Cool thing about those brakes, while they're a massive upgrade in terms of stopping power on the track and out on road, of course, as well, they're not noisy. So sometimes you get this kind of like noise from like the slotted and upgraded discs or big brake kits, which, you know, they're great, but the noise is not ideal. So yeah, big upgrade. Other thing to just point out as well, tires. So tread on this seems to be wearing nice and evenly. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy to the way these are holding up. Like, they're not track tires, don't get me wrong. They're more for the road. But yeah, to be fair, those Proxy Sports, yeah, happy with that. The next big upgrade that this car's had is the coilovers. Complete suspension overhaul on this. In fact, this is the second generation of suspension I've done on this. First I did the eBay coilover thing. Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing. Still don't. But yeah, upgraded that to Vogland coilovers. An absolutely awesome, cost-effective solution to getting way better handling and also the drop you're looking for as well. You can see, you know, a few years old now. I have done some salty, silly things. Like I said, I don't drive this car much, but it has been out in the salt. It's not a show car yet. Probably, to be honest, look at changing them up a little bit soon. They're really, really good, but when we're getting more power out of it, I probably want to upgrade. Probably going to go something like BC, but we'll see on that. What else have we got going on? Back into the engine. So they're the big handling upgrades out of the way. We've of course got the suspension upgrade, we have got bigger brakes, and we've got wheels and tyres. Those wheels and tyres are much wider than previous, and that's just going to give us loads more grip. But what about power? Right, this is where things get interesting. This M44 engine it's not particularly user-friendly when it comes to tuning. It's not like a turbo-powered modern car. You can't just whack a remap on it and expect a load of power. So one of the things I have done, and this is the controversial one, and makes a lot of the keyboard warriors go nuts when they see photos of the engine bay, over on Facebook that is the intake system. Now this is running a big old K&N air filter, and I just simply disagree with the fact that people say they don't work, because they do. It's just science, and I'll show you. So, here she is. Here is the filter. A little bit dirty, probably could do with a wash and a re-oil. But down there, let me see if I can zoom right in for us, is a cold air intake pipe. And that pipe is really important because it's going to force cold air directly into that filter. Let me show you where it goes. So I've done something a bit different here. It actually pops out down here, just below the radiator. Now, normally on the Z3, there is a blanked off grille just here. In my case, I've replaced it with this honeycomb. And what that means is that air, as I'm driving along, goes through here, into the pipe, cold air feed, up and out of said pipe there, straight up into the K&N air filter. Now, it does have this little heat shield thing on. To be perfectly honest with you, you'd probably do away with that heat shield. It's not doing an awful lot, but the focus is on that cold air, because we need three things in order to get this engine to run. We're going to need fuel, we're going to need a spark, and we need air, or more specifically, oxygen. And the more oxygen we have, the better, right? That's a fact. So what that cold air is going to do is carry more oxygen because it's more dense, and that means a more efficient bang, or ultimately more power. Now I know if this car is sat in a traffic jam all the time or daily driven, then it may get some heat soak, but that's not why I'm building this car. This car is designed to be on track and driven hard. So that's why it's got an upgraded intake. So if you are just using your car as a daily, don't do it. If you are using your car on track, definitely do it. Oh, and just stop arguing about it. It is just a fact. More oxygen, bigger bang, simple. Another little mod I've made is I've changed the mirrors out for these F1 style mirrors. Now, perfectly honest with you, they're not great. I think they look really cool and I absolutely love that look. But out on track, they vibrate a bit and you can't see much. But if you do want to get some, they're just simply eBay jobbies. They're nothing major. Actually, once you take the mirror off the car, the stock mirror, you'll just find that there's two holes underneath. They're pretty universal. Just bolt the new one in and jobs are good. And obviously they're not electric anymore, so it does mean you have to have a passenger to set it up. But yeah, they look cool, just definitely not practical. So there we have it. That's just a bit of an overview of the mods I've made to my Z3 in order to just make it a little bit more track orientated or fast road as well. After all, these are a sports car. It's not my daily driver. It is a bit of a fun toy. They're super cheap to pick up. I said it in one of my first videos. Just get your hands dirty, start having a play, have some fun with your car. But now I just need to get the wheels back on, torque it all back up, and I'll see you at the track.